secrets, scandals, and a life caught in the crossfire. Faith Evans has lived through it all. From the explosive East Coast-West Coast rap wars to messy marriages that rocked the headlines. But what's the real story behind the First Lady of Bad Boy Records? Buckle up, because we're diving deep into the drama, the heartbreak, and the resilience of a woman who's seen more than most could handle. Before we get started, just a quick shout out to all of you tuning in. We upload videos daily right here, bringing you the hottest topics in the Black community, especially those untold stories about our old-school Black celebrities. So if you're vibing with this, stick around and become part of our crew as we keep the legacy alive. Faith Evans, a name that echoes through the halls of R&B history, like a soulful melody you can't shake. Born on June 10, 1973, in Lakeland, Florida, Faith's journey kicked off in a world that wasn't always kind. Her mother, Helene, was a young Black woman chasing her own dreams, leaving Faith to be raised by her grandmother in Newark, New Jersey, after a stint in foster care. Picture this: a little girl, barely 2 years old, belting out hymns in the church choir, her voice ringing through the pews like a promise of something bigger. That's where it all began. Faith's natural talent shining bright, even in the shadow of a tough upbringing. By high school, she was an honor student, sharp as a tack, earning herself a scholarship to Fordham University. But the call of music was louder than the classroom. At 19, she dropped out after just 1 year, ready to chase her destiny. It wasn't long before Sean Puffy Combs heard her demo and signed her to Bad Boy Records in 1994, making her the label's first female artist. That move changed everything. Her debut album, Faith, dropped in '95, packed with hits like You Used to Love Me and Soon as I Get Home. It went platinum, cementing her as a force in R&B. But fame, it's a double-edged sword, and Faith was about to feel the cut. Enter Christopher Wallace, better known as the Notorious B.I.G. or Biggie Smalls. Their love story was a whirlwind, fast, fierce, and unforgettable. They met at a bad boy photo shoot, sparks flying over shared laughs and talks about their kids. Faith had a daughter, China, from a previous relationship, and Biggie had a daughter, Tiana. 8 days later, yes, you heard that right, 8 days, they were married. August 4th, 1994, marked the start of a union that would become hip-hop legend. Faith was just 21, swept up in Biggie's larger-than-life charm. He called her "my wife" the moment they met, like he'd seen their future in her eyes. She felt safe with him, a warmth she'd never known. But love like that, it's rarely simple. Biggie's world was chaotic. His close ties with Lil' Kim stirred tension. Faith once walked into his hotel room to find Kim there, a moment that stung deep. Then there was the East Coast-West Coast feud, a powder keg ready to blow. Tupac Shakur, Biggie's rival, pulled Faith into the mess in '96. He lured her to the studio with a $25,000 offer to record a track, but the vibe turned dark fast. At his hotel room, expecting payment, Faith faced a humiliating demand instead. Tupac suggested she'd have to earn the money in ways that crossed every line. She walked out, shaken but unbroken, only for Tupac to spin a vicious rumor that she'd slept with him to spite Biggie. The lie spread like wildfire, fueling Biggie's rage and dragging Faith into a feud she never signed up for. That drama hit its tragic peak on March 9, 1997. Biggie was gunned down in a drive-by shooting in Los Angeles, just 24 years old, leaving Faith a widow at 23. She'd left a Soul Train Music Awards party early that night, unaware of the nightmare unfolding. When Heavy D called her to the hospital, the truth crashed down. Biggie was gone. Grief swallowed her whole, but Faith didn't break. 9 months later, she married studio exec Todd Rusaw, building a family with 4 kids of her own and 7 stepchildren. Her second album, Keep the Faith, dropped in '98, a masterpiece born from pain, with hits like Love Like This and the gold-certified Biggie tribute, I'll Be Missing You. She was proving she could rise above the ashes. But the roller coaster didn't stop. Her marriage to Russo lasted 14 years, marred by arrests for drug possession and DUI, ending in 2011. Then came Stevie J, a bad boy producer and longtime friend. Their 2018 Las Vegas wedding shocked fans. Stevie, with his messy past tied to exes like Joseline Hernandez and Mimi Faust, seemed an odd match. Faith had crushed on him from afar, but the reality was far from a fairy tale. Cheating rumors swirled early. Stevie sneaking around with Joseline broke her heart. They split, reconciled, then hit a wall in 2020 when Faith was arrested for felony domestic violence. After a 1 a.m. blowout left Stevie scratched up. She posted bail, but the damage was done. Stevie filed for divorce in November 2021, demanding spousal support despite no prenup. After a bitter fight, complete with him joyriding her $164,000 Mercedes to Coachella, they finalized the split in 2023, leaving Faith legally single but emotionally scarred. And then there's the Tupac trap revisited. Faith's recent words hint at regret. "I allowed myself to be played," she said, reflecting on that hotel room nightmare. She's hinted at knowing who killed Biggie, even suggesting the LAPD knows too, tying it to her death row days. "Had I known then what I know now," she mused, "I wouldn't have stepped into that studio." It's a confession that's reignited questions. Was she a pawn in a bigger game? Fans are buzzing. What does this mean for her legacy? Her career, though, untouchable. From Faithfully in 2001, with Burning Up, to 2015's incomparable with I Deserve It, she's evolved, written for others, and even acted in films like The Fighting Temptations. At 50, with a $3 million net worth, she's still the First Lady of Bad Boy. But the drama keeps coming. A 2025 Lifetime doc, Biggie and Faith Evans, left her furious. Pitched as a positive look at her life, it leaned hard into cheating scandals and Tupac rumors. It was supposed to be a love story, she fumed, refusing to promote it. Biggie's mom, Voletta Wallace, echoed her anger, fearing it tarnished his Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nod. Then there's Kim's Lost Words, a 2024 book claiming Faith was complicit in Biggie's murder, orchestrated by Diddy to spy on him. Faith's mortified, denying it all, and considering legal action to shield her son, CJ, now 27, from the pain. "I had no part in his death," she insists, her voice steady despite the storm. Faith's life is a tapestry of triumph and turmoil. Church choir prodigy to hip-hop royalty, widow to warrior. She's faced Tupac's traps, Stevie's betrayals, and Biggie's ghost, yet her voice still soars. What's next? A comeback, a reckoning, or both? One thing's clear. Faith Evans doesn't just survive, she shines. Well, now that you've come this far, subscribe and leave a comment. We're here every day, dropping fresh takes on the Black community's hottest stories and the legends who shaped it. Like Faith Evans, hit that button. Tell us what you think. Did Faith get caught in the game, or did she play it her way? Let's keep the convo going, fam. See you tomorrow.